conversation about the White House not being happy with Fox News Channel. Let's bring in Fox News analysts Juan Williams and Mary Catherine Ham from D.C. We also have a very hot Al Gore deal. You're going to love this, but we're going to do that in a couple of minutes. All right, Juan, look, why? You see, I wake up this morning and I see all this stuff and I hear all this stuff on CNN and I'm going, why are they bothering with this? Do you know?
Right. Yeah, sure. I mean, look, if you're inside talking to those folks, including Anita Dunn, here's what they say, Bill. They talk about the birthers, Obama's a Muslim. They talk about the Tea Parties, where Obama was oftentimes excoriated as a fascist or as a socialist, trying to undermine democracy, take the country away from its roots. And they really associate that with Fox News. And you say to them, wait a minute, let's talk about the people who are here at the White House for Fox. Do you have any trouble with their reporting? No. Do you have any trouble with the reporting in terms of the hard news coverage out in the country, even when we're covering the Tea Party? Oh, no, well, you know, you're covering what's... That's exactly right. The quality of reporting is not... It's not possible for them to attack that, but they do attack the personalities, the personality part of the Fox News Channel, and say that oftentimes they think it's personal and that they think, as Anita Dunn said yesterday on CNN, it's an arm of the Republican Party trying to destroy the Obama White House.
Okay, but you're not a Republican, Juan. Do you see any evidence to back that up?
No, if I did, I would be very uncomfortable, and I would say it. I'd say it to my bosses here, I'd say it to you.
I'm sure there are some Republicans here at Fox, but I know there are Democrats as well. Why do you think they're doing it, Mary Catherine?
Well, I think this White House is uncomfortable with pretty much any kind of criticism to the extent that they end up hurting themselves reacting to it. In this case, you know, this is the communications director for the White House. She's on Sunday morning TV for 10 minutes and talks about Major Garrett, Carl Cameron, any number of people name-checked. The president's agenda, not actually dealt with at all. Now, that's a serious dereliction of duty when it comes to communications director, and the fact that they're moving in this direction speaks to people and says, well, are these people as rudderless and agendaless as they claim the GOP is? It doesn't look good for them.
Yeah, I just don't know what they hope to accomplish, Juan, because we're so far ahead of the other cable networks in the ratings. Yeah. So many more people watch Fox News, and not only watch it, but what we do and say goes out to the internet, it goes out to the world. 40 countries now cover us. So if you're going to be in a seat of power in Washington, if you're going to be in the White House, and then you want to pick an ongoing fight with Fox News, number one, it empowers Fox News, no doubt about it. And number two, your message is now going to be perceived as what? That you're a whiner? You know, if Miss Dunn really had a legitimate criticism, she'd be sitting here instead of you guys. She'd be saying,
well,
look,
she
Bill,
should be sitting there.
Yeah,
you
look,
know what,
Bill,
here's
my beef.
Confronting.
Go ahead.
Exactly. That she should have some specifics that would allow her to do it. But to my mind, and I think you may have had some experiences like this, the left can be intolerant of people who are critical. And they can somehow then want to conflate somebody who's critical and I think engaged in legitimate criticism with someone who's an opponent and someone who deserves to be
but if you're president of the United States, you got to expect
stir the base, Bill.
They what?
Okay, yeah, right. Well, if you're president, you should be held accountable. But I think that you asked about their purpose. Their purpose is they can stir some on the far left by demonizing Fox.
To do what? They already hate Fox, Juan. The far left already hates Fox. What are they going to stir them up?
You're not right about that. Look, there's some who do, but remember that about a third of the Fox audience is made up of people, this is according to Pew, not me, who say they're liberals.
All right, so you think that somebody like
minorities in large numbers.
You think that somebody like Dunn is going to say, "Oh, Fox is in the tank for the Republicans, so they're not going to watch anymore"? These people aren't stupid. They're watching Fox for a reason. They can hear, they can see.
And it's important. Bill, it's important to note, too, that some of these stories like Van Jones and Acorn, they ended up being huge stories.
They're big stories.
It's not Fox's fault. It's not Fox's fault that the White House isn't vetting properly.
And the Tea Party's a big story as well.
It's good for people.
Let me get to Al Gore.
It's good for people that comes out.
Let me get to Al Gore. He's in Madison, Wisconsin. Great place for Al. He's speaking to environmental journalists, and some Irish filmmaker gets up and challenges Gore and said, hey, your documentary in which you made millions of dollars was all kinds of mistakes in it. Roll the tape.
There's been such a long discussion of each one of those specific things. One of them, for example, was that polar bears, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time ago, that polar bears really aren't endangered. Well, polar bears didn't get that word. So
Well, the number of polar bears have increased, actually, and are increasing.
You don't think they're endangered, do you?
The number of polar bears have increased.
Do you think they're endangered?
The number of polar bears have increased. I mean,
right,
if the number of polar bears increase, surely they're not endangered.
Put the word polar bear.
A judge did have a lengthy hearing.
We have to move on.
No, but no, I mean, Vice President Gore hasn't. Vice President.
We're not doing a debate here.
No, this question. He hasn't answered the question. Vice
We
President
have
Gore
10
hasn't
minutes
answered.
left for these people.
Yes, but I would
to ask
appreciate
questions.
his answer to the court.
Yeah.
A British High Court judge.
Yep.
All right. So that was the organizer of the event, cut him off and threw him out in the street and did something. I don't know what they did. What do you think, Mary Catherine?
Well, I know the filmmaker I talked to today, he did Not Evil, Just Wrong coming out soon, which is skeptical of some of Gore's claims. And he was pointing out that a British court that was deciding whether they could show this film in schools said that there were 9 major errors in the film, and then ruled that the classrooms had to read a sort of a disclaimer before they showed Gore's film. So Gore doesn't really deal head-on with the question. He hasn't dealt head-on with journalist questions in years. This was an environmentalist journalist sort of consortium, and Philem tells me that there was not one other even mildly critical question when there are serious issues
Gore
on
doesn't
climate
like to debate.
with.
No. Well, Juan, it's always the Irish guys. Juan, it's always the Irish guys causing trouble. 25
right?
seconds. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, you know what, I mean, to me, you and I have been in situations where you're giving a speech and somebody gets up, and instead of asking you questions, they begin to berate you. I thought the guy went beyond. But the point is, and he has a real strong point here, Gore should be asked questions, held accountable like any politician, and too many of those environmental journalists treat him as the, you know, the given word. Whatever he says is golden. You know what? If you're going to make claims about the environment, about American policies, you should be able to take the questions and answer them. Maybe that wasn't the right format.
All right, I got to go, guys. I got to go. Mary Catherine Juan, thanks. Directly ahead, Rush Limbaugh says he might want to